up, guys? It's been a minute. I have not had a video up for a while, but today we will be throwing in 3 videos. So depending on when you see this one, this will just be one of 3. So this is one of my pilot dials. These are the dials that I had the guy in the UK do for me, which are lasered aluminum. And the nice thing with his is he had such a nice laser that he could laser in very lightly. I can paint them and sand them, and I don't sand away any of the detail. So that was the primary situation before, was trying not to sand away the detail, so having something super nice quality. So this is one of those pilot dials. Apparently I painted myself blue. I painted this in orange and then sanded it down and then threw it in there. So we've got a 160 case, which is that mix of the 090 and the 350. The 350 is the one I normally do that has the etched out area here. We have a tall coin on here, polished coin, with an orange scandi minute insert. I did a set of orange with white pilot hands. And then since this was pilot style, I did the nice little star on the crown and milled caseback. Did some lug extensions because I like the way that that looks on this case. You can stuff them up under there if you want. You can just pop these off, side poke these out, and attach them right there, but you just have less play. All this on a wrist-bound, super pliable and rugged strap, orange stitched. And then I also happen to have a star engraved preview buckle. So we've got our pilot style watch here. And then for reference, this is slightly lasered out. Is this even working? It is working. There, now it's working. So slightly lasered out. So our minute or hour, however you want to reference that, since they're actually references minutes there. And then your hour markers on the center. Lasered out completely, and then the wife backside illumined those for me. So that is the build. Brushed case, polished bezel, brushed case back, brushed buckle. So long as you don't nick the face of it going around here, that's your nice little polish area. These are also brushed straight down. Bezel on it will turn left, it'll turn right. I was able to get it on there decently tight. It is a bidirectional bezel, non-click style. And I just did it as a continuation of the indices on the dial. So it actually has your hour marker with your minute, hour with minute, hour with minute. So a little extra busy. Automatic mechanical, you've got a rotor in the backpack here. You just can't see it. It is moving around. You'll feel it as you're walking, moving. 31-hour power reserve on it. But before you put it on, you want to wind it just a little bit, because if it is dead and you just set your time and throw it on, if you're not moving around, it's just going to kind of sit there. So you're going to back this crown off the threads until you hear it. Man, I must have put it on extra tight. Normally you can't do that. Back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. It will come off the threads. You'll feel a little bit of play. You want to make sure you're off the threads, but you'll hear it clicking. At that point, you can wind, and a wind is a turn that way. Turning it towards you won't wind it. There's a little mark right there. Is it a mark? Is it a not mark? It is a tiny mark. Tiny. That looks factory-esque. Can we fix it? We can. That's what your green Scotch-Brites are for. I always say green Scotch-Brite, but it's the green side of the Scotch-Brite. Sometimes they come like that. Oh, we just did, what, a minute of video with no video there? Oh, so green side of the Scotch-Brite, you would just keep it along your, which turned it just a little bit. You just keep it along and you just push against that because you want to keep a rounded line. Because if you just do it at an angle, you're going to get like a little bit of straight line. So you just want to kind of just push tight, just push around there and blend it back in. If you do it on the side, you would just do straights. Just do single passes. Don't go back and forth. You'll get like angles. So single pass. So if you get a scratch. So anyway, you're going to go back and forth, winding, which is what I do. So long as you're going that way, at some point you're winding. But I don't like doing this because I start threading it back on. So I always just go back and forth. To where if I do start threading it, I just pull a little bit of tension out to where I'm still out. So 4 or 5 seconds of that before you put it on will keep your time throughout the day. If you do it for something closer to 15 seconds, you're going to max out your 31-hour power reserve on it. You can't overwind it, so don't worry about that. You can sit there and wind, and you're never going to end. When you're happy with your winding, you're going to pull it to the 1 and only click. You can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown. This deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement, so when you're pushing and prying on it, you're not putting any adverse pressures on anything. Okay, Google, what time is it? It's 12:45 p.m. 12:45 p.m. When you're good, you're going to push it over, get it out of that time setting, and then wind it down. And that is your build. If it's going to you, congrats. You got something pretty cool. You're going to get matching beads via the wife. You're going to get a dial matching custom box. You're going to get one of my little pilot schematic pillows in here. Stuffed extra. I put a little too much into them, but that's all right. And then this one's going to come with watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts. Everything here in the center. Non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue, as well as a microfiber. You're also going to get some leather conditioner to keep this strap perfectly soft. You'll probably never ever need it, but if you do, here it is. Apply it on the front and back. Let it soak in. Remove any excess using a rag. Don't use a microfiber. And then lastly, some fine scratch remover, just repackaged. So one of the dials I was going to paint in blue, and it didn't work out, and that's what that's from. Because I was like, wait a second, I remember having my hands blue, so I must have just missed dabbing my finger or something. I don't even know how I do that. But it's driving me nuts, because every time I'm filming, I'm just looking at it. But anyway, fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. It's like Polywatch. It's for your acrylic glass, because you can scratch it. But if you do, just put a tiny bit of this on it, and buff it out using your color matching microfiber. If the scratch is up and down, just go left and right, fill in that scratch, haze the scratch, buff it out, and you should be back to new. So everything you need outside of a Scotch-Brite in case you would ever scratch it. So that's a build that's going to you. Congrats. I think this is a V5 pilot. I have like obviously 6 versions. A couple of them I like to do a little more than others. Some of them were like prototype and I didn't really like move on with them. Some of them I can do but I haven't elaborated on. So I think this is a V5. I don't think it's a V3, but anyway, it'll be correct in the heading. So if it is going to you, congrats. Appreciate you. And if you want me to use something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.